Welcome back, everybody, to the Endless Party.
Welcome.
We are grateful you are here once again.
Good to be with you.
Especially for this special episode. Because it includes all the good things about a very special girl. Her name is Meg.
Ah, Elijah, you're too kind.
Thanks. So we're actually asking Meg a bunch of questions. We're going to pick that little brain of hers and get a sneak peek into what her life is like. So here we go. Let's just dive right in, everybody.
Let's dive right in.
Okay, Meg, who was your favorite teacher growing up and why?
My favorite teacher in elementary school was my 5th grade teacher. Her name was Miss Lowe. And I really liked her because...
She brought you to new highs, even though her name was Miss Lowe?
Yes, she actually did. That was very accurate. She really pushed me academically, and she taught me that I could work really hard in school and do well. She was really, really good at like pushing you and making you do really hard things. And at first I actually struggled in her class, but then she really like helped me to excel. So she was
Shout
really
out Miss Lowe. If you
Her name was Teresa, I believe.
Teresa Lowe, if you are listening to this podcast.
Yes.
You had a very impactful what did I even say? Influence in
Yes.
Meg Babcock.
My
And now
young life.
Meg Armstrong's life.
Okay, but I want to say my favorite high school teacher too.
Oh, cool. Go for it.
My favorite high school teacher was Uma Mahendran.
Uma.
She was really from the country India, and she taught me Algebra 2 and Pre-Calculus, and she was great too.
I don't even think I took
She just
pre-calculus.
believed in me, and she was very nice.
That's so great.
Yeah, I really liked her.
Can you try to do her accent for us?
No, I cannot.
She has a very thick accent.
Yeah, she's a really
She's super,
thick,
super cool. I've never
she has a
even met
really
her, but
thick accent because she really is from India. So what's interesting is like you have to like learn her language kind of. But her and I we were like really good friends. Like I'd go in for lunch a lot because I needed like extra help, and we hung out a lot. So
fun
was
fact for you all, just a side note. My wife was at the top of her class. She was valedictorian. And I was in the top, or the part of the class that made the top half possible. So the brains of this family all rests within her head.
I will say this is crazy to think about. When I was a senior in high school, so we're talking I'm 17, Elijah was 22 years old and he was a junior in college, right? Yes. No. 5 years. You're a sophomore in college.
I don't remember.
You're 22. So when I was
We were
17.
both freshmen at the same time.
Yes, I was a freshman in high school when he was a freshman in
And I was
college.
a freshman in college.
Crazy to think about.
Wild. Question 2. What's the best advice you've ever gotten, and when has it come in handy?
My high school coach told me that I needed to embrace adversity.
Ooh,
Make it your best friend.
that's good.
And so he, like, in all of my workouts, he'd be like, Meg, you need to embrace adversity, embrace it. And I was always like, rah, 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 you know. 'Cause, I was always like, okay, yeah, like, that's nice. But in my head, I was like, that just, like, why? Like, this is really hard. And then when I left high school and we parted ways, he looked at me and he's like, now I've been telling you to embrace adversity for like the last 2 years. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, now what does the Bible tell us to do? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you need to rejoice in adversity. He goes, because that is what makes you strong. And that's what makes you, succeed, is when you can like hold on to that. So
That's good advice.
I've applied that all the time. And I think the longer, the more I've like discovered about myself and like read a lot of books, like I've been really trying to adopt the mindset that like when something hard happens, it's always for the better, and it's a sign that God is cheering you on and that he believes in you. And that's something that like I believe in.
You're so cool.
Bless you.
Excuse me. She also pours blessings out upon people. All right, where is the first place you ever remember traveling to?
Okay, so I don't remember moving to Cleveland But I just have to say this. Okay.
Yeah, go
so
ahead,
I was born in
This
American.
is your story.
I was
Your
born
show.
in American Fork, Utah, and when I was 1 or 2, we moved to Cleveland, Ohio, because my dad started dental school there.
Okay.
Okay, but I believe when we were in Cleveland, we flew to Washington for my brother's first birthday, Andy's first birthday, and I remember
State?
Washington State. So we were in Seattle, and I remember. There's this experience I remember vividly. He had his first birthday cake, right? I remember like being very impatient watching him eat his cake, right? Because he's 1, so I'm 3. And I remember wanting a ton of his cake and being so confused as to why he got to like smash a cake. You remember that jelly frosting? It's like clear and jelly that they used to write things in. It had this turquoise like jelly frosting, and I like remember wanting some cake so bad. So that's kind of what I remember.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that you can remember that far
I
back.
remember
3
visiting
years old.
Yeah, I remember visiting my grandma's house.
Remember like a steel trap too. Wow. What's your favorite memory tied to a holiday?
Okay. I think one of my newest memories has been with you. And there's a couple things. One, I think I will never forget our Christmas Adam tradition, the first year we did it. It's such a stellar tradition. Like, that just always makes me
Made this
smile.
up.
It's been in my family for forever.
It's
but
never been in your family.
It's been in my family for
She
centuries.
totally lied.
Anyways, I totally remember. I think that just, I don't know, it just brings a smile to my face. I think, like, Christmas was always really special, but I think when we were married and we started doing Christmas together, it took on a whole new meaning for me. I thought it was so special to be home, be with you. I don't know, I just loved it.
Man, Meg, you're just making me sentimental. When's a moment that you know he made your parents proud?
There's 2. The first one was the end of my senior year when all of my like athletic and academic goals just came to be. I remember graduation night, like I just remember my parents like beaming. They were so happy. And then the second time I remember them being proud was when our twins were born. Again, they were just beaming, and they were almost crying because I was so sick and like, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it was rough, but I think they were almost in tears because like what I remember is they both told me that I handled it very well. They were impressed with like how you and I like handled the situation.
I actually remember your mom talking to me when we were at after the delivery.
Like the postpartum side?
Yes, the postpartum side. Your mom was like, we were both sitting there and the nurse was helping you walk to the bathroom.
I just...
Yeah, you just got off all the hard stuff.
I think I'd had surgery like 8 hours before.
Yeah, and it was at like 3 a.m. and you were just like so happy and like, oh my gosh, I can walk.
I was so happy to
I
walk.
can see my feet. Like just so stoked. And your mom was like crying. And she was like, this girl just got cut open and like scarred and she is just so bubbly. And she was just like so, you could tell she was so happy.
That was a good moment when our babies were born.
That was a good moment. I could cry just thinking about it. Do you have any phobias?
Yes. I'm intensely claustrophobic.
Yep.
In the sense that I don't even know if it's claustrophobia, I hate blankets on my face. I do not like to be in the covers with blankets over my head. Like, I don't like to be in spaces that I feel like I'm gonna suffocate. And I think this fear comes back to like, I think my mom or someone told me I was gonna suffocate if I was under a blanket when I was really little. And
that was the case, I would have died so many times.
Well, I don't know. I just never risked it. I won't risk it.
Still doesn't.
Elijah will pull the blanket over my head or something, and it literally like causes a panic in my chest. I hate.
There's just one day she like put a full pillow over my face and she's like, does this scare you? I was like, no.
And I was like, well, never do it to me. And I was like, never do it to me because I will cry. Like I hate that stuff.
What advice will you give your 12-year-old daughter? Well, daughters that you never received as a 12-year-old?
1, never compare. Never. And I especially think because they're twins, Winnie's success will never take anything away from B. And B's success will never take away anything from Winnie. They can both be successful. They can both be beautiful. They can both be, you know, great athletes, whatever they want to achieve. I know they both can. Mm-hmm. But when another girl or when another person is succeeding, like, don't compare, because there's enough success out there. And my second advice is kind of funny. It's never get bangs. Never.
Oh.
Don't ever get bangs. As a 12-year-old, because you're never going to be able to care for them the way
you should.
than an adult could. So, yeah, don't get bangs.
That's fair. Wow. Good advice. Do you have a favorite number?
3.
Why?
Because you and I say it free.
Ah, that's true.
Or I also like free and 5.
5.
But 17 seems good in my head right now, too. 3, 5, and 17.
Do you have a favorite childhood memory? And if so, what is it?
I think I have. I have so many, but...
You had a good childhood.
I think the ones that... I'm gonna like cry because I'm gonna laugh so hard. I think the ones that always brings a smile to my face are... I have these memories where me and my brother Andy would purposely do dumb stuff, and I remember, and we would, like, there's been 3 or 4 times that we've been doing something stupid, and in the distance we can see our dad just slowly walking towards us. So I'll share one of the times. We're in Bear Lake at a cabin, and, you know, probably cabin fever hit like 5 hours prior to the adults kicking us out. And so they're like, you guys need to all go out. And it was like me and Andy and a couple of our family friends, and I think Maisie was there too. So it was like the oldest of my siblings. And we go out, and there's this like dirt road that all the cabins are on. And we decided that we were gonna go and gather up all the tumbleweeds that were like in the fields around, and we were gonna make like a barricade. And then the plan was like, we'd pile up the tumbleweeds, and then when cars came, we would charge them to get past our barricade. So we gathered like tons of tumbleweeds, like they're higher than us. And so the whole road is barricaded with tumbleweeds, and like really, really high. I mean, we're not that tall, but we're talking probably 4 or 5 feet high. And then the cars would approach, but we would all chicken out. And instead of like charging them to move the tumbleweeds, we ran and hid. And my dad notices what's going on and notices that there's a bunch of kids hiding. And he comes up to the car, because, see, trucks would just like, you know, run through them with tumbleweeds, but like little cars, like, were like,
what is this?
Yeah, no, so they would just stop. Anyways, my dad comes walking slowly out, and he has the guys roll the window down. He's like, I'm really sorry. I don't know whose kids these are, but I'll have him move the tumbleweeds. And so we all moved the tumbleweeds for this car. But like,
I don't know.
I'm not sure whose kids these are.
That's funny.
But I think I love making my dad laugh, and I love, you know, coercing my siblings into doing never crazy,
malicious,
you know, never malicious, but like funny things, and making my dad smile. And so those are always some of my favorite memories.
Those are a really good answer. If you had a warning label, what would it say?
It would say, caution, will fight back.
Okay. That's fair. Which trait of your parents do you hope you have?
I hope I have my dad's ability to mind my own business. I think he's stellar at not judging others and keeping his judgments to himself. And I hope I do have some of my mom's, just like her heart. She's really good at serving other people, and I think I could be a little bit better at doing that.
Those 2 gems.
I do love my parents.
I love them too. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I remember this. It was 1st grade, and we had a paper we'd fill out and put in the hall. And everybody was saying like astronaut, or like, you know,
You were
really
those kids that wanted to be like a nacho?
No, I don't want to be a nacho. But I remember people making fun of me because I said I wanted to be a librarian.
Oh!
I loved library time. I loved it. I loved that we got to go.
That's cool.
I loved hearing the stories, and I thought the library in our school was amazing, so I was going to be a librarian.
That's wicked cool.
And then I think I said too that I'd have like 11 kids.
Oh yeah.
I think I said I want to be a librarian, and then I was like, I want to be a mom and have like 11 kids.
You kind of are a librarian.
I think a little bit.
Yeah.
I do love to read.
We've lent out quite a few books.
We need to return.
They need to be returned.
I gotta go put on my librarian
We should start
hat.
charging like
We should.
librarians do.
We should.
Okay, other than Jesus, who do you look up to the most?
You. You changed my life, man.
I don't even know what to say. Okay, so do you have lipstick on?
Yeah.
I'll look like a fruitcake. Okay, so if you had to have a Disney pet, what pet would you have?
Hands down, I would have Pascal from Tangled, the little chameleon.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
I don't know if this is Disney, but you know, I think it's DreamWorks. You know Jack Frost, the Guardian movie? I want one of the Tooth Fairies.
The Tooth Fairy, like the little ones?
Yeah, or one of the eggs.
The eggs are funny because they're just legs.
Yeah, I think I'd want each of one of those Guardians minions. They're all stellar.
Oh,
the
even
little
the
elves
are
are
funny
funny.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, those are good. You know what's actually a good one too is the one on Frozen, the little snowballs.
Okay, I was gonna say that too. Okay,
Those are good too,
I was
actually.
thinking about Frozen because of the snowballs. Unfortunately, I think Olaf is very overrated.
I do
He's
too.
not my favorite, but his little snow minions I think are adorable. So any like small minion, I guess, is like. Side note, we just went to the zoo. There was this teeny little orange monkey.
Oh man.
It was so cute.
So cute.
And I like want a little tiny
It's like a
orange
little
monkey.
orange lion monkey.
Like, you know, the toys that like have the really long legs, the monkeys, and then you like Velcro them together. He really looked like one of those.
Yeah, but
He
like
was
cuter.
He was so cute.
He was cute.
He was swinging around. I liked him.
Ugh, he was awesome. Do you have a quote that constantly harbors in your mind?
Yes, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Ooh, a scripture quote.
It's a scripture. It's in my head every day.
That's a good one to have. Pardon me. If you ever got a tattoo, what would it be and why?
If I got a tattoo, well, I think there's like two.
Okay.
I think I would want your initial or something, or like a tiny something that reminded me of you. And I feel like I'd actually want it like on my fourth finger, like right here. Actually, I don't know what it would be, maybe a tiny E or something. But then I'd both want us to have a matching one. And like if we put our hands, like if we held hands, have you seen the ones where you hold hands and then it makes a picture? I'd want something like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow. What's one thing you want to tell your kids at this stage of your life?
So like, right now, what do I want to tell my kids?
Yeah, your future kids, not these kids because they're babies.
Oh, when they're 20, when they're my age?
Yeah, your stage that you are at right now, everything you're experiencing, being a new mom, you know, starting businesses, all the things. What would you want to tell them?
Never let the pressure of the world or other people stop you from pursuing what truly matters.
Spoken like a prophetess.
Like, value your family and value your dreams, and never give up on those two things, and you will be happy no matter what your circumstances look like.
Man,
I think so.
man, you just speaking doctrine right now. Okay, so if you were a ghost, who would you haunt?
If I was a ghost and you were still alive, I would haunt you all the time.
What would you do?
I think I'd do like spooky, I don't know. Like, can you
Cupboards
see
open?
me? Yeah, I'd leave cupboards open.
What else would you do?
Probably, not, okay, so I'd leave cupboards open and drawers open, and then I would, you know, not wash out stuff.
This ghost.
No, I think, okay, but also I think I would love to haunt my posterity.
My purse.
Like, I would love to be the ghost that, like, you know, like, if I knew that, like, any one of them were in a critical situation, like, they're about to make a life-changing choice for the worse, I hope I could scare the pants off of them into not making that choice.
That's a pretty good ghost.
So, yeah.
Here's a question. This is on ghosts. I didn't even write this one down. If you had to be haunted by a ghost, would you rather have Peeves, the poltergeist from Harry Potter, or Casper, the friendly ghost?
I actually don't know Casper very well.
He's a friendly ghost.
Probably Casper. But I've never seen that movie. Is it called Casper, the Friendly Ghost? I've seen him. He looks cute.
He does. He's a cute.
Is he nice?
He's a cute little guy. He's super nice. His brothers are super mean, but he's super nice.
Probably Casper. Peeves is rude.
Peeves the poltergeist.
And also, this is what I never understood. Like, he's a ghost, but he could, like...
do stuff.
Yeah. Which I don't know how, because I thought he was a ghost. But he could, like, touch solid objects, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Harry Potter, dude. Wizarding world. What can you do?
But maybe Peeves if I could, like, convince him to be on my side and then, like...
troll others.
Troll other people, yeah.
That's fair. If you were immortal, how would you live your life differently? Or would you live your life differently?
If I was immortal, I probably would just have so many more kids.
Really?
Yeah. I'd probably have tons of kids all the time because...
You're immortal.
Well, what's crazy is you could take like you could take a break and then have like... You know what I'm saying?
It's true. All the babies.
But also...
Answer I did not expect.
I think too, I don't really think there's anything else. I love what we do. I'm like really happy.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else I'd really want to do. Other than like, can
Conquer the world?
Yeah. Other than like, can you see how like...
Just one off. Yeah.
Can you see how like kids is like a very short time frame, but if you never die, you can have more. You
That's
know?
true. Yeah.
But, like having kids is very like it's just.
But
Like,
if you're immortal, your kids aren't.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just you.
Not you.
No.
I'm alone.
Yeah.
Well, that's horrible. I want to die. I've changed it back to immortal and die. I don't want to live without my family.
That's fair. Would you rather speak in a baby voice for a day or be spoken to in a baby voice for a day?
Are you home?
Yeah.
Because, like, if it's just me and the kids, I could speak to the babies in a baby voice.
Well, of course.
However, I actually try to not that much because I want them to not have any speech impediments.
Yeah, that's fair.
I actually try to be mindful. Like, I feel like you and I had our own, like, jargon and, like, voice that we would talk to each other in all the time. But I feel like that's kind of stopped since our kids because...
We don't want them saying free
instead
of three.
Which it's, like, funny because we can actually say 3 and 5, but... It's not, I mean, like, I just want to teach them the right way to say
That's
things.
fair. So which wouldn't you do?
I think they're both very annoying.
I know. Which is worse?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be spoken to. I might want to punch that person by the end of the day.
I know.
You don't want to be that annoying person
No,
that somebody else...
I probably want to get spoken to and I just run away.
Yeah. Would you rather be followed by a band everywhere you went or have an outside voice narrate your entire life?
An outside voice narrate my entire life.
Really?
It's very exciting. Who's the voice?
James Earl Jones, Mufasa?
No, it'd be Morgan Freeman.
You want Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
Okay. Not Mufasa?
Oh, no, probably Mufasa. Probably Mufasa.
Okay, this is the last question I have for Miss May.
Okay.
How do you want your kids to measure success? Your posterity.
My posterity. I think it's kind of similar to my advice I have for them. I think I want them to measure it in terms of family and pursuit. Like, I always want them to be pursuing their dreams. I think for me, like, I will be really proud of my kids that they're pursuing I think I'll be more proud of their pursuit than their attainment. Like, I want them to attain and succeed, but like if they live a life full of pursuit, you know, they're pursuing having a good family or they're pursuing their dreams, then I think they're very successful.
That's a very good definition of success.
Yeah, I read it in Jordan Peterson's and I adopted
Jordan
it.
Peterson.
I love Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Well, that is Miss Meg Armstrong in a nutshell. This is Catching Up with Meg Party. Stay tuned. We will have more of these episodes.
Because we think they're super fun.
Yeah. And you can get to know my lovely wife here a little bit more in the coming episodes. Okay?
Okay.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.